What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the 806 Perspective podcast. Damn, fumble already. Um, I am one of the hosts, Abel,
My name is Dallas Morales.
and welcome to the second episode of our podcast. We appreciate everybody who listened to the first one. Now we got 113 views on YouTube. Slight flex, some light. Um, in this episode, we are going to talk about. We're going to recap All Star Weekend, all the events that happened. Celeb game, Rising Stars game, 3-point champ, dunk champ, All Star game MVP. And we're going to talk about the NBA since it's the All Star break, the halfway point. We're going to look at the standings, kind of talk about who we think might be the favorite to win, some sleeper teams, stuff like that. We're also going to talk about college basketball with March Madness coming up. We're going to go over Joe Lenardi's like bracketology bracket, who he has as his one seeds overall. Some more sleeper teams in there. I guess some surprises that we think might miss. Just stuff like that. And me and Dallas are going to play a little game that we see a lot of other analysts play, which is just like quarterback carousel. And we're just going to give some names and think where we think they'll end up playing next year. As far as like whether it be trade or sign and trade or just some kind of release free agency. So Dallas, you got anything you want to say real quick before we get started?
I'm just ready to get started. Let's talk about, I guess, the All Star recap, right?
Yes, sir.
Where do you want to begin?
I guess we just kind of go in order like the days. So first day was of course celebrity game. I watched it. I know you said you didn't watch it. It was kind of competitive. It was more like entertainment wise. They had Richard Jefferson coming in ref, and they had him suit up for the game too, and then they had Carlos Boozer come in. So it was pretty cool. I'm trying to think who the coaches were. Wade and then like an owner of
Wade was one of them, wasn't he? Like in the Antetokounmpo. What a tough name.
Yeah. Telling you. Imagine having to say all their names. I feel bad for that announcer. It's
Oh
like
yeah,
Antetokounmpo, the Nazis.
can't imagine him going to kindergarten and spelling that.
Good Lord, imagine.
Right?
It was honest. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. DK Metcalf won MVP. He had 20 points, 10 rebounds, 4 blocks. That dude was just massive compared to everybody. But Calvin Johnson was on the other team, and he actually made DK look kind of small because I don't know. I guess a height difference, but
Megatron for a reason, right?
Yeah, dude is mad. I've never heard him talk till they interviewed him there, and I was like, "What the hell?" His voice does not match him.
Agree.
But yeah, team. I guess Antetokounmpo or Team Wade, whoever they are, ended up winning. It was actually kind of a crazy end sequence because I know Team Wade was up by like 4. They inbounded the ball with like 10 seconds left, turned it over. Team Jimmy Smith or whatever owner of the Jazz name is, they scored, and then Team Wade just threw it at half court, like hoping time would run out, and it did. Luckily for them, because the Miz ended up stealing it and hitting the half court buzzer beater, but it didn't count. So it was a little suspenseful towards the end. But overall, pretty good celebrity game. DK can't shoot for shit. He has no upper body strength, I guess, because man, that dude was like 0 for 6 with jump shots, but he was over jumping from the free throw line, doing windmill junks, shit. So
wild.
What you got to say about any of that, Dallas? I know you didn't watch it, but did you see any highlights or anything?
I watched some of the highlights. I love Guillermo with
the
the most Guillermo thing with the ball getting stuck.
I mean, yeah, I forgot about
that. No, other than that, I saw the Peloton man. He could hoop. I mean, that's so crazy that Alex Toussaint, I believe, that's crazy. He really could do his thing.
Yeah, that man was trying his heart out. He went like I think one he did like coast to coast, did like a little in and out spin, but I think he smoked the layup.
If I remember correctly, I think he said he won it last year, the MVP.
Yeah, they kept saying he was trying to go for a repeat, but man.
But so that recaps that, right?
Yep. We got the Rising Stars game. It's kind of reversed for the celebrity game. I didn't really watch it, but I know you watched it.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like a tournament style.
Yeah, Jose Alvarado, man, we know him more as the, Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah,
getting the steals, just really passing the ball. But I mean, that he had a in that first game, he had a like 11-point just run by himself where they just took over, which was uncanny for him to do.
yeah.
They won that first round. I can't remember exactly what team they played against. And the next
Mm,
game was like Evan Mobley and like Scotty Barnes and Quentin Grimes. They went against a bunch of G Leaguers like Scoot Henderson, who's upcoming in the draft next season, and like a
mhm.
dunk champion, Mac McClung. Mac McClung had some highlights in that game as well, but Mobley's team was just overall better than them.
Yeah,
That Rising Stars the championship game, it was. I know some people really didn't like it so much, but I kind of enjoyed it towards the midway of that game because it was just first to 25 points, and when the game was
mhm.
like kind of in the balance, they were switching. Those kids were playing defense. They were rotating, making extra passes. Like to me, it was fun. I mean, I guess I don't know what these people want them to do, like to make it better. I thought it was
Yeah,
really fun. You got really competitive game. They got Jose Alvarado because they had the last shot. He's telling Donovan Mitchell, hey, if I make this shot, you owe me a dinner. Comes
yeah.
off the
I've seen that
screen,
highlight.
hits the three, for the win. like
Man,
man, he was
just
doing his thing. But shout out to Quentin Grimes as well. He was balling. If that was your first time watching basketball and you saw Quentin Grimes, you would have thought like he's a top 10 player in the league. He's a superstar. If you would have just never seen a game and just saw him play, you would have been amazed.
I'm
Crazy.
not.
I enjoyed Rising Stars, in
Yeah,
my opinion. The league looks bright with young stars, man. Can I say?
yeah. It does. I tuned in the first game for like a couple minutes, and I know they had Alvarado mic'd up, and it was just talking all kinds of nonsense. I remember they got a steal, and he was like on the wing. They kicked it out to me.
Um,
As, oh, I'm knocking this shit down. I was like, damn, they just got that man cussing on TV and everything. I think they like,
yeah,
as soon as he said that, they like went to commercial. They probably just took him off the mic. I was dying. They have no filter out there.
yeah. It was funny because they had Giddy on the next one, and it's kind of cool, I guess, talking to them and like seeing what they're looking at, stuff like that. But
Mhm.
like these guys have been doing it for so long, it's just natural for them. They're like, "What are you looking at, Giddy?" He's like, "Ah, I was looking at this guy right here. If he does this, I'm gonna do that."
Yeah,
Something so easy for them, simple.
yeah. Students
But
in the game.
I really like the Rising Stars. In my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, damn, fucking gotta clear my throat every time. I feel like those
Water.
first 2 days, yeah, I got water, but it's making my throat dry.
Good lord.
Those those first 2 days, I feel like were pretty good. So that celeb game we had it on Friday. I think
Yep.
the Rising Stars was the same day. I think it was later on.
Yeah,
Um,
I believe so
then
too.
we had the 3-point shootout and the dunk contest on Saturday.
With the
3-point shootout. You know, your favorite player, Dame Dollar, finally won one. Was it his third time that he tried and
third
finally got
time
one?
was fine. He said if he lost, he was gonna retire, and if he won, he was also retiring. So it was a win for him.
Got to go out on top. I know, like looking at the field, I really don't think it was too, I guess, like one sided. I mean, he had Julius
Yeah.
Randle, which is wild. He had a bunch of guards.
Yeah. If
Um,
you're not a really NBA fan, you weren't noticing these players. But
yeah,
unfortunately, like the regular NBA fan wouldn't really know Halliburton or who else was in there. Herder, like most people
Herder.
wouldn't know Herder or
Who else was
Randall.
in there?
Uh,
Randall, Buddy was in there.
Buddy,
Dame.
and
I feel like we're missing somebody.
Hero was in it as
Yeah,
well, and
yeah.
Tatum.
Tatum.
He was not really known for the I guess like he is, but he's just known like he's just a scorer really.
Yeah.
So
Um, but yeah, Dame won that with what I think like a 20, 27 point championship round.
yeah,
Halliburton went crazy in the first 31, and
it
then of
really
course
the
Kevin
pressure on him.
Herter What do he have? 8?
He had
Kevin
8,
Herter.
which is wild. He was a projected favorite. I know one of the analysts were saying that's I think Draymond Green was the one that said like he's gonna win it, if I
Oh,
remember. Could be
Lord.
wrong.
That's wild,
Yeah,
especially just being known as a shooter, putting up 8, getting
yeah, definitely.
outshot by Julius Randle. That's just like when Kevin Hart
Yeah.
beat Draymond in the 3-point shootout
Oh,
a
yep.
couple of years
Exactly.
back.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's just the
um,
Theo contest was missing the usuals. People are used to seeing Curry and
yeah,
Clay,
the big
and that's what it
names.
was. Yeah. And then
And
on the
shout out Dame Dollar finally getting 3-point shootout trophy.
yes, sir.
Um, hopefully, hopefully they'll win another trophy, something else, whether it be like MVP or a ring sometime.
For
I don't want to
sure.
waste
For
his
sure.
talent.
Right. Yeah.
Uh, but now go to the dunk contest. Boy from good old here, Lubbock, Texas, Texas Tech Red
Right.
Raiders.
Yes,
Mac
sir.
McClung finally did something that Tech can be proud of in basketball.
That
How do
yeah,
you
it might
feel?
be Nick's best achievement in basketball, right?
I
Maybe
mean,
besides other him coaching the Lakers, but yeah, that's
I mean,
man, dunk champion, Mac McClung. And to for me, I think that was most impressive. Like obviously the dunks were nice,
mm,
but on the first try, all of
yeah,
them,
yeah.
man,
I was gonna say he
that
didn't
was
miss. He didn't
nice.
miss a lot.
Any that
Oh
was
yeah, he didn't.
that was nice to see, man. I was getting tired of the guys attempting the same dunk 6 times and
Missing every time.
yeah, so
What got me
yeah.
was that Jericho Sims dude, man, how you gonna do the
Oh my
double elbow, like the single elbow and the double elbow the next one? Like we get it, you can jump high, you're like 6'11". It's not that hard to just dip
didn't
your
even
elbow
get
in.
didn't get the double dip on the first one.
Yeah,
The
he had
second
to pull
one, you
himself
got a
up with the net.
second one you're pulling it. Man, he has hops too. I was kind of
Yeah.
excited for him too because he kind of had like that Dwight Howard. Like he's just really big and could jump really high, and
Hmm.
totally blew that. So that really sucked. Just another thing to laugh at New York basketball about, right?
You're sorry. I would just say that
Right.
now if we ever go to New York, they're gonna go for you.
Oh yeah. I hope.
But yeah, I
I hope
mean,
not.
shout out Mac McClung, man. Those
Yeah.
little past little 5 days, crazy for him getting signed by the Sixers, signing the Puma, winning the dunk contest. He was on ESPN, I think, on Monday morning.
I seen a
Crazy days
thing,
for him.
thing too, like because I think he's on that blue the oh my god, the G League team, the Delaware Blue Coats, and apparently like tickets are hard to find now.
I want to go watch him. It's crazy.
Man,
Like,
yeah.
I know you. I'm sure, like both of us, we've like kept up with him since he was in high school because
Oh
he
yeah.
always shows his dunks on House of Highlights or
Yeah.
whatever
When
page
he
anywhere.
committed to Georgetown, that was exciting too. Big program,
Yeah,
and I guess never got the right footing, I guess, there and went
yeah.
to
I
Tech
mean,
and got the name Big 12, the Big 12 basketball, and played against the
yeah.
elite.
Georgetown's like the laughing stock of college basketball right now. That's like
Yeah,
downhill.
it hasn't been the same since a while. Yes,
Yeah.
5 or 6,
Uh,
I feel like.
yeah, it's been a
Jeff
while.
Green, maybe.
Um,
God,
been a while. Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out y'all's boy Mac McClung.
Yes, sir.
Um, he pretty much won with all 50s, right? Didn't he just have one that was like a 40, like
Yeah,
9 or something?
boo Lisa Leslie for the 149.
He was just not
How?
impressed.
Yeah, that was what I thought. Some of them were I know rambling more about the dunk contest than we probably should. It was Mac McClung. Just he dominated the whole thing. But they were giving some of those other guys some high scores too. Than I guess I didn't expect.
Yeah, I know. Like the Sims dude with the double honey dip, and in the sign they gave him a higher score than I think the one that Trey Murphy did, which was a lot
Yeah,
better.
it
I was
was.
like,
Yeah,
what the hell?
I was very confused by that.
Yeah, I
And,
guess. Yeah, that wraps up the dunk contest topic. Now we'll go to Sunday's festivity, which was the All Star game. Um, Jason Tatum won All Star Game MVP. Finished with 55 points, NBA All Star Game record, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Team Giannis ended LeBron's 5-0 win streak as the new during the new format and everything, where you draft and all that kind of stuff. So, how'd you feel about the All-Star game, Dallas?
I obviously me as a Celtic fan, I loved it.
Yeah,
Well, Tatum, I love seeing him just. He made it look so effortless, man. He's hitting threes over 7 feet Embiid.
he did, man. I was
I
like,
would
what
love for,
the?
I would love for someone else to do that as easy as that. I love the part where him and Brown were going at it. I thought that was fun.
Yeah,
That was, and then he held him to that shot clock violation, I think, or the time was running out. One of the two. I thought that
yeah,
was awesome. No, I
yep.
mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, I don't expect them to go full, all out.
Mhm.
Um, as I
Yeah,
wish, as I wish we all would. You know what I mean? Like how they say, like I think Kobe Bryant said, like they go harder at a UCLA run without
yeah,
the cameras watching, and now the cameras are on all the athletes, and now they aren't trying as hard.
yeah,
So that that does kind of suck. I see where they're coming from, but as we saw, unfortunate LeBron got hurt. I think that really kind of lowered the tone as well.
yeah. Having both captains out, just they're
Yeah,
just like, I mean, yeah, kind of just killed the, I guess, killed the energy a little bit.
I think so too. And then they compare it to that 2021. That was rest in peace Kobe. They're playing for their hearts out, for him on that one compared
Yeah,
to as this one, and we're missing. We're missing LeBron. We're missing Giannis, two of the most competitive people we know. Kevin
yep.
Durant, Kawhi, Curry. We're missing a lot of big
Yeah,
players out there that would make
especially,
the intensity go up. At least in my opinion.
yeah, because if you think about it, like Tatum and Brown is kind of like when they did the little back and forth. Just imagine that with like LeBron and KD or Giannis and LeBron or whatever, however
Yep.
the matchups are, like Steph cooking Giannis. Anytime Steph is in the All Star game, it's just like entertainment because that man just pulls up from half court.
Yeah,
So
and then it
missing a lot of it.
could have been Steph versus Kyrie. There's
Yeah,
something there that Kyrie. And it's
yeah,
like because like it's I mean very small sample size, but like when the games like the quarters were ending, and I guess whoever had the lead at the end of the quarter won the charity money or however that worked.
hmm
You can see like Kyrie Irving and Embiid like kind of picking up their steps, like trying to get a stop kind of or get a quick steal. I think players like that caliber, LeBron's, Giannis's, they would definitely get everyone to follow through and play
just need
hard.
like because yeah, usually like the past couple ones, like the first through third quarter has been kind of lazy, but the fourth quarter usually is when it turns up. But like this
Yeah.
year, it was already like I think Team Giannis had like a 15-point lead, so Team LeBron just
Mhm.
kind of was just going, and Tatum was just the little sequence when him and Donovan Mitchell were just
Oh
like
my
taking
goodness.
turns shooting
Yeah.
from like half
They
court.
were,
I was like, what
yeah,
the hell?
they were just hitting everything. I guess people, call it, no defense. I understand that, but man, I wish I could just hit shots that effortlessly 35 feet out.
Donovan Mitchell was mic'd up too, and they were just hyping that man up. Like Jesus, they were literally
Yeah.
just two dribbles, pick it up, pass half court, and just splash. Dame
Yeah.
too. I Dame hit
Game
one.
two. Yep.
I was watching it with my mom, and he hit like a almost like a half court one, and she was like, "I didn't even see the net move." I was like, "Yeah,
Yes,
that's what he
yes,
does."
yes. Yeah, Miles said the same thing. He's like, "Did that go in?" Like, yeah, I do not know how he did that.
It was crazy, man.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah, shout out to your boy, Jason Tatum. Finally won some award. Probably gonna be the only award he'll ever win, but that's another
uh,
discussion.
that's another for another day. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, broke the record. Shout out him, 55 points. Man was cooking. I'm not gonna lie. He was just, I don't know. It was literally just shooting every time. And you called it too. I think you said when I asked
I
you that before it started.
I
I said,
texted Raw. Yeah, too. I texted Raw
yeah,
the day before too.
yeah, like All Star
Yeah.
game. You're like
Yep.
my boy Tatum, of course. Sure enough,
I just felt, and then like him too, like Tatum, LeBron, they have this thing too where they go against
Mhm.
each other. I just hate that LeBron got hurt. I really think it would have been a lot different if he didn't get hurt. I mean, you could tell he was trying too. Freaking
Yeah.
the
Chase down
odds of
on
him.
Shea.
I mean, he just chased down blocks every game. I mean, the chances he freaking hurts his pinky or his finger on effortless one
Yeah.
like that. So unfortunate. Poor Shea. He was so pissed.
Who?
Shea, because that's
Oh
what he did.
yeah.
Did you hear that? Did you see the interview?
Yeah. He's like, didn't play no defense tonight. I want to do a dunk and he wants to play defense. He's like, I got something for him.
I got something for him.
What are they gonna do, Shea? You already beat him whenever he broke the scoring record, man. That's enough. Let him get his get back.
My God.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good overall All-Star weekend. One thing we did forget to note was DK did end up getting drug tested by the NFL. They immediately after winning All-Star Game MVP. So, shout out to NFL for doing their job, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, what's your opinions on All-Star festivities of the weekend? What are some things you think they should probably maybe tweak a little bit and stuff?
Honestly, I'm not too sure. I mean, I enjoyed it.
Hmm.
I guess in my opinion, I loved it. I watched it. I watched it with Miles. He enjoyed watching the best players play.
Yeah.
Do their thing. Obviously, the star of the show was the Mac McClung. That was awesome to watch, man. Honestly, just he did his thing, and
Yeah.
I don't know what else more they could do with the All-Star game. I think we're just missing those
Some big names.
the icons, man. We're missing the Currys
Yeah.
and the Giannis's, LeBrons, and I think we're just missing those players that could get those guys to go for it. So maybe
Yeah.
next year's different. I'm not too sure
Hopefully.
what incentive they can make to make them play harder.
The only thing I could think of is maybe like how the Major League All Star game is. Well, I don't know if it's still the same, but like the winner of the conference, I guess. They can't really do that, but conference would get home field advantage, but home court advantage, I guess. But can't really do that now.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could see. But East West, but now I feel like the West has, I mean, so many things. I guess, but they don't play hard either, so I guess it really wouldn't
Yeah.
matter. But I don't know. Like you said, the West and East, if they did for home court advantage, that's the only other thing I could think of.
Yeah.
I mean, because
I
I
mean,
don't
they
know, they
really
play
don't.
30, and I don't understand
Yeah.
how to change it.
One little thing where we were talking about this, but I'm gonna throw an extra one in there. If you could have a dream dunk contest, so what are the 4 contestants you would have?
Oh man,
Anytime, all time, on the spot.
on the spot. So obviously, Vince Carter,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you gotta throw. Yeah, I want to see Mac McClung with them.
Damn, you could throw McClung in there.
Throw McClung in there, dude. I'll
And I
throw
can understand it.
and then gotta have Zach Levine.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
And then probably Jordan. I guess just all the people that went to did the dunk contest. That's who I'd go after.
Yeah, mine would probably be Vince Carter. I'd put LeBron just because everybody wants to see him, but I would also put Jordan so that they can compete. Another thing to
Right.
get people riled up in.
Yep.
And I would probably go maybe like Spud Webb just to see what he would do.
Right.
Or Zach Levine, but I would probably say Zach Levine just to be that the way those dunks that man does was crazy. That would probably be my dream.
Yeah, and I feel bad now, like leaving out, because there's so many goddamn people that could dunk.
Yeah,
Leaving out, like Jaw, obviously the main,
yeah,
just
Jaw
money.
Zion.
Jaw Zion, exactly. And then I don't know how good Jalen Brown is, but I remember he was gonna do it the rookie year and he declined it.
Mm.
It was
Yeah,
kind of
because
sucked
I
out.
remember like the big thing when he was coming out was just like he was crazy athletic, Jalen Brown, and now he's evolved his game so much.
Yeah.
Another thing that we were talking about too is that we'll just pick. I don't know if you could have your dream, not your dream, but I guess starting 5 from this group of all stars from this past All Star break. What would your starting 5 be from both sides? Doesn't matter.
Oh man. Okay. Right on the spot. Let's go. Kyrie.
Hmm?
Right, Kyrie. Does it matter? Is
Yeah.
it positionless? Does it matter what positions we run in?
I mean, I guess just guards, any guard position, and then
Right.
front court, whatever.
Kyrie, probably Donovan Mitchell. He's one of my favorite players.
Mhm.
Obviously, Jason Tatum,
Yep,
Giannis. I guess Jokic.
I like it.
That probably be my.
Understandable. I can see it. I'd probably have to go with Kyrie, of course.
Right.
Um, Luca. Mine's basically just
Yeah.
the starting five that
Yeah.
LeBron had, but
Yeah, it
yeah,
was so good.
Kyrie,
Too.
yeah, Kyrie,
Golly.
Luca, LeBron. I'd definitely go Giannis, and
Yeah.
then probably I'll probably go Embiid. No disrespect to Jokic, but
Oh yeah,
just
they're 1A, 1B. I get the MVP stuff, but MB definitely can hold his own.
yeah, for sure.
Or more
Jokic
than
is
that.
crazy, but Embiid,
He's,
I
he's
mean,
up,
different.
yeah, close to. Yeah, he's a beast. He's a monster. I hate when we go against him. I hope when we go against him, he's always tired. Like that's always his thing. Is like he's fatigued. And,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That
but yeah,
wraps up All Star Weekend. Of course, All Star Weekend always means NBA season is halfway through. So
yes,
we're gonna
sir.
go ahead and look over the standings. I'll cover the West if you want to go ahead and cover the East real quick, Dallas. Your boys up top.
Because in the number one seed in the East as of right now is Boston with 43 wins, Bucks 41, 76ers 39, Cavs 38, Nets 34, Knicks 33 as a sixth seed. Sorry, I'm not listing the seeds. Seventh seed right now is the Heat. Eighth seed is the Hawks as of right now. And the two play-in teams as of right now would be the Raptors and the Wizards.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a couple of teams that are back that are kind of kind of close to the Pacers and the Bulls. I
Mm.
don't see either. Obviously, I
Doing
wish the
anything
Pacers make a
crazy.
run, but yeah, they have good players, just not putting the wins together. I mean, they're 2-8 in their last 10 right now. The Pacers. That is recipe to not making the play-in.
Yeah. Yeah, that is tough. If
Yeah.
you obviously non-biased in this aside for you,
Okay.
um aside from the Celtics, I guess, what team do
Right.
you think has the best chance of coming out of the East and making it to the finals?
I don't want to be Captain Obvious, but it's the Bucks, right? The defending
Yeah.
champs. It's because I don't. It just can't be the 76. I just do not trust the 76ers with Doc Rivers. I love Doc because what he brought to the Celtics in '08, the championship, but he's known
Yeah.
for just those playoff losses, those questionable losses, man.
Yeah.
And you got Harden, Harden is one of my favorite players. People who know me, I just those playoff games where you're just, where are you?
Yeah.
And B can't do it by himself, and I don't know what they're doing with Maxi, bringing him off the bench, and you got Tobias Harris, who, God, most paid
So
role
inconsistent.
player. Yeah, I mean, I love but yeah, it's the Bucks of the surefire team, and if I had to pick a team other than them, I really like what the Cavaliers are doing. I think they found their
Yeah.
person, Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
They-
say too.
Yeah, they needed that player that could just be like, okay, we got no offense going. We're gonna give you the ball. Can you carry us this quarter? And that's what they needed. They didn't have that in the playoff series last year. I think it was the
Yeah.
play-in. It was one of the two. They just didn't have that guy that could go get a bucket whenever they needed to. And he could always play defense, but he was just asked to do so much in Utah. I think
Yeah.
it was kind of like a Harden situation with the Rockets where he just
Just
kind
kind
of
of
wasn't trying on defense like I know he could.
yeah, saving his energy.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
He definitely has bought into it with the Cavaliers, and it helps having a guy like Mobley and Jared Allen, where if you do happen to get beat, those guys can defend the rim.
Yep. I mean, yeah, they got like a good young core with Donovan Mitchell. I mean, he's not even like he's experienced, but he's still like what 26, probably 25 around there.
Yeah, I would.
And they got him, Garland,
Who's
Mobley, Jared Allen. What's Okonkwo? Is that his name? Koro.
Okoro, man,
Yeah.
Okoro, he just cannot hit a please. That
He's like a
I
little
guess
Energizer bunny.
yeah. But I guess you had to have that wing defender. You just wish they had, wish he was. You always want that 3-and-D player, but unfortunately, he just has
He's missing the
defense.
three.
He just doesn't have the 3. Yeah, he just has
But
defense right now. I know I'm signing Danny Green, but I hope Danny Green is not your winning championship player.
yeah, man. I mean, yeah, looking at that, I would probably say, obviously, I think the Celtics with just their group, just they have to be the favorites even against the Bucks, even though they have Giannis. But Tatum and Brown probably just the best duo in the NBA.
Right.
So like
I'm biased.
they'll take over when they take over. But I'll say Tatum has I feel like that loss motivated him a lot. He's like improved a lot more this season. Still fudge the Celtics,
The
that's all me.
big piece for us. I'm sorry interrupting you.
No, you're good.
But is Malcolm Brogdon.
Mm-hmm.
He's so huge for us. I love Pritchard. He's my guy, but the size it catches
Yeah.
up to you, and golly, I love that guy.
And
But
then there's
yeah,
moments where he just like takes terrible shots too.
yeah, and he's a shooter, and so I get his perspective. He's like, I'm being here 5 minutes. I'm gonna shoot if I get the ball, like
Yeah.
because I'm. But yeah, Brogdon, he helps us so much because like it came to that final series and we just couldn't take out Tatum or Brown, and they're on the
Mm.
court the whole game going against Andrew Wiggins. It just caught up to the, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah. Having
so
to run
many
with
times they
Steph
were
everywhere he
throwing that.
runs.
Yeah, because they had Wiggins, Gary Payton, Klay Thompson. They just had so many bodies that could throw at him,
Yeah.
and it just caught up to him. And then we just had no one else to replace him. And
Yeah. I feel
so
like they're
Brock
like
been so
super
good for us.
super deep this year because I mean,
Yes,
what's
we
his
are.
name? What's his name? Wasn't it White? What's his name? Derek White.
Sam Hauser,
Him too, but him, Derek White,
Grant
um,
Williams.
Grant Williams. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's improved every year. I
Robert
love that.
Williams too. And
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
that feels like people are forgetting. Like we don't even have Gallinari. Like he tore his ACL. Like that.
yeah. I
Gallinari's a
mean,
solid player too.
it's just like they have like so much like surprise depth too. Like even Blake Griffin. I mean, I know he doesn't get a lot,
Oh
but
my gosh,
that
yes,
man
he
could
is a
just randomly
shooter.
go off. Yeah, he could go off for
That
like
man
20
can
probably.
shoot. Yeah, like a couple games ago, he literally had our first 9 points, hit 3 threes in a row. Like we're in
Yeah.
2023, and this man has got it down. So
But yeah, I mean, yeah. I just think they have like just like a complete team. Mazzulla, that's his name, right? Joe Mazzulla.
Joe Mazzulla, who has about 10 sticks of gum in his mouth.
Yeah. And man, I mean, I'm sure I want to say it's off of the players just because, they've had successful coaches, but, to be
Definitely.
that young
Yeah.
and the franchise just trusts you, that has to say something. But, they got
Yeah.
the coach. Yeah, they got Tatum. They got Brown. That's their dynamic duo. They got their defensive juggernauts with Marcus Smart, Horford, Robert Williams. They got a deep bench. I mean, they got to be the favorites overall. I would take them over. I'd honestly
Sure.
take them over anybody in the West, really.
Sure.
Besides maybe like a healthy Suns team with KD
Yeah.
coming back,
Obviously.
but
Yeah.
problem with the Suns is they don't got no depth, so it'd be tough for their bench to go toe to toe with the Celtics bench. But that was a
Definitely.
Easter Conference. Dallas. His biasness, he's gonna take the Celtics, of course, which is
Yeah.
understandable. Even if he's not biased, a lot of people would pick the Celtics. Second pick would of course be the Bucks, and then sleeper team, I guess, would be the Cavs.
Yeah. I also think the Heat are interesting because they're a 7th seed as of right now. And if they were to match up with the Cavs in the first round, I wouldn't like that for the Cavaliers with Heat with all that experience.
Yeah, and they got Kevin Love and
Yeah. He's
Bam. I don't know if Love will start, but
He
Love and
started
Bam
actually
going
right now,
against.
his first game.
Oh, is he? Damn. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a good matchup right there. Jared
Yeah,
Allen and Mobley against Love and Adebayo. That'd be a good matchup.
yeah, for sure.
Um,
On to the Western Conference, Abel, where you will cover that. What do we got as of right now?
yeah. So we got the West. We got the Nuggets with the 1 seed at 42 and 18. 2 seed will be the Grizzlies, 35 and 23. 3 seed will be the Kings, which I think is probably a surprise of the entire NBA. They're at 33 and 25. 4 seed
Crazy.
is the Clippers, 33 and 28. 5 is the Suns, 32 and 28. Mavericks are the 6 seed, 32 and 29. Oh, fudge. I messed it up.
Why?
Hang on. It's connected. I gotta reload.
Okay.
Technical difficulties. Uh,
With the Mavericks, would you stop at the Mavericks?
yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Mavericks 6 seed, 32 and 29. Timberwolves, wow, I didn't know they were this. 7 seed at 31 and 30. And then you got the last 3 teams, the Pelicans, 30 and 30, the 8 seed. Jazz at the 9 seed, 30 and 31, and the Warriors at 10 seed at 29 and 30.
Wow.
So that's the pretty much look out for the Western Conference. Um, you got any West? I feel like is a little more what's the
It's
word? Unpredictable as far as like teams because
very
obviously the Nuggets are at the top, but I mean the West is so stacked from top to bottom, really, aside from the Spurs and the Rockets. But
right. Yeah, because you have. I think I read a stat like eight seed through 13 seed is literally 2 games away.
yeah, looking at it, the 13 seed, the Lakers, 28 wins, and the 8 seed, the Pelicans, have 30. So yeah, the 2.5 game difference. But that's so crazy. Of course, the Suns made the big. Guys, the Suns and the Mavericks made their
Yeah.
big splashes, trading for KD. Suns trading for KD, and then the Mavs trading for Kyrie. Out of those
Yep.
2 teams, Dallas, which one do you think um, had I guess, the best trade or the best like new player coming in?
I think barring injuries aside, all the Suns. You know what I mean? If there's
Yeah,
no injuries, I would definitely take them. But me being as the more realistic, I really like the Mavericks. I really like the fact with Kyrie and Luca on the same team.
yeah,
I really think that would really I would really hate to go against that in the playoffs because we've seen Luca be able to do it on his own. You know what I mean? He made a
yeah,
Western Conference Finals by himself with his next best player probably being Dorian Finney-Smith or Brian. He had Brunson.
yeah.
How about
I mean,
that? But
Brunson kind of like I think he kind of inconsistent in the playoffs, but yeah, he did
yeah,
have some.
he had his moments. But yeah, for sure, heavily Luka Doncic. I think the fact that Doncic can now take that, maybe 8 minute break or like 6 minute break at the start of the second quarter, and Kyrie can carry a quarter. I think that really helps.
Yeah,
I really like the Mavericks a lot.
yeah,
I know it
same. I
looks
mean,
very weird on paper, but I like it.
yeah, I mean, like the Suns, they probably have like the best starting 5 on paper with CP3, Book, KD, TJ Warren, and then KD, and then Aiton. But like we said,
Yeah.
we're talking about the East. They really traded all their bench players pretty much for KD. Um, only one I can really think of is probably who Campaign or Torrey Craig, one of them too.
Yeah, Torrey Craig. They picked up Terrence Ross, I see
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah.
That's good. But oh man, yeah, I don't know how I
So
feel. Obviously, they got one of the best players to do it though. So if you have him
yeah,
healthy, I mean, he was carrying that Brooklyn team too. When Harden went out and Kyrie went out, and almost
yep,
took down Giannis basically by himself.
yeah.
He never
Or
kept them out.
KD, man. If he only stayed healthy, he would
I know, and
past
then you
couple
have
of years have been a struggle for him.
the team, team right before them, the Clippers. They're the same thing.
Yeah,
Man, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and would hate to see them healthy in the playoffs. I feel like we say that every year.
yeah, but never happened.
It never happens. And now
One of them gets hurt.
they make the splash too. They get Russell Westbrook.
Yep. He,
So really
he goes
like
from
that.
one LA team to the other LA team, so not a big
Exactly.
move for him. Um, but if you had to pick, kind of the same thing with the Eastern, one
Okay,
favorite out of the West, but since you're not biased in the West,
for
who's
sure.
one favorite like that a lot of people see, or that's pretty obvious, and then pick one kind of sleeper team you would pick to come out of the West.
If I had to pick one, I guess the favorite, would it be the Nuggets? I don't think the Nuggets would be the favorites just because they keep on
Yeah,
losing
I
in the
mean,
playoffs, honestly.
was they haven't made it past the second round, right? In like a
Right.
while.
Yeah,
So
I don't think so. Well, I don't think so either. Did they make it in the
yeah.
bubble? Maybe.
I think
I
they
know the
made it to
Lakers beat 'em.
this. They make it to conference finals against the Lakers.
I
I
think
think
that
they
might have
did.
been yeah, I think they did make it the Western Conference. Okay. So that
Yeah.
might have been the last. But I don't even think the favorite would be the Nuggets. I think people, if they were to put their money on it, I really think it'd be the Suns if they were to
Hmm.
pick. If I were to
Yeah.
pick two, like like saying injuries aside, if they all fully healthy, I think it is the Suns. I think it's too much firepower with
Yeah.
Aiden and Chris Paul, Devin Booker. I mean, they have that championship experience too. They got to be hungry. They
Yeah.
gotta they gotta want it. They cannot let they can't have that Mavericks be their last playoff memory for as that team to be together. Man, that would be
That'd be
some story for them to all break up like that. That'd be their last playoff run together. So
man.
I would pick the Suns, I guess.
Hmm.
And obviously for me, I I can't just count the Warriors out, man. Steph Curry has to come back.
Yeah.
And I would not want to play the healthy Warriors team. I wouldn't want to play
I mean, yeah,
Steph
they got
Curry.
Gary
So,
Payton back too, so comes back healthy, then
right.
it's basically just the same team from last year almost.
Yeah, honestly, with Jordan Poole, Clay. I would say Suns are the favorites, I guess in my opinion. I haven't looked at any odds or anything. I get the Nuggets are the most talented team or like most, have the most wins. They have the might win the MVP again, Nikola
Yeah.
Jokic.
3 time back
Um,
to back to back.
that's insane. I just don't trust them. I really, if
Yeah.
I were to pick a team, Suns or the Warriors, I think if they make the playoffs, like I said, I wouldn't want to play the Warriors. And then if Steph's feeling like they're going against me, they're pick me as an underdog, they think I don't have it or something. I could just see something like that happen. Like they wrote us off. I didn't write back type stuff.
Yeah. Gino. He's on his Gino
Yep.
stuff.
Yep. I could definitely
But
see, them feeling like that. The Clay Thompson, he definitely like that.
yeah. Yeah, I'm in kind of the same boat. I mean, I feel like the Nuggets just collapsed in the playoffs, which I really like. I don't understand why. I mean,
Me either. I think they have a
Jokic
good
is
team.
just, yeah, maybe just people don't show up. One team I hope does not make any noise at all, is the Grizzlies. I just cannot stand the Grizzlies, man. They talk
Man,
so much.
they have became people. Yeah, people now like it became one of the most America's like favorite teams to most hated teams in
Yeah,
days. And
just
never
because
nothing like that.
it's crazy. Because like this year, I think people hated the Suns because they
For
would
sure.
work out after a game and stuff like that.
Most
Then of course
definitely.
you got Jaw and the Grizzlies, and Jaw saying he's fine in the West, and they're running the mouth. Then they want to punk Shannon Sharp and all that stuff, and everybody hates the Grizzlies. So
Dude,
um,
that's so wild.
I think I'd be in the same boat. Healthy, fully healthy would definitely be the Suns.
Right.
Um, I want to put faith in the Kings just because they're like the Cinderella story. But I feel like they wouldn't be able to go really toe to toe with anybody that's fully
Yeah.
healthy, like at the top.
I know, like De'Aaron Fox, amazing. He's having a great season. But I think
Mm,
when playoffs come, they're gonna make him shoot. They're gonna figure something
yeah,
out where he can't just be running coast to coast in transition. You
yeah,
play a guy like
especially
that 4 times in a row, they'll figure something out about you.
yeah, especially in the 7 game series. It's easy to
Yeah,
kind of make adjustments. But hopefully the Kings win a playoff series.
I'd
Sure
love.
to be
Yeah,
the first time in shit since what, like 2000, when the last one they played the Lakers in that rigged series. I
something
don't
like
know when that
that,
was.
yeah.
I'm always hoping for the Lakers because my boy LeBron, but
For sure. The NBA is better when he makes the playoffs. I mean,
yeah,
I know some people don't. I know people hate him, but the NBA is better when he's in it, man. It sucks to not see nothing like that in it. I hate to
yeah,
not see him in it, honestly. He's the best player. He's one of the best players we're ever gonna see. He needs to be in the playoffs or rewatch. I don't
yeah.
care if he's an eighth seed.
I mean,
We want
yeah,
to
you know, they watched them play yesterday. Of course, we're filming this on Friday, February 24th, so we're a little behind on stuff. But watched them play yesterday with their full, newly acquired roster. Braun was healthy, AD was healthy. Sadly, Dante DiVincenzo out here rigging games for bettors like Dallas. He injured
I didn't
D'Lo.
get I didn't get to see it, but I heard he was out fairly quick, and I was wondering why he was at 2 points and it was the third quarter. Found that out.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Warriors had just scored, and I think it was DiVincenzo, but Russell got the ball from like out from under the goal, like after it went
Mhm.
through, and I guess DiVincenzo was like must have been like a layup or something. He was like running into like the little padded area under the goal,
Right,
and
right,
he
right.
was trying to get back, and D'Lo was trying to force it in, and they were kind of just right on each other. So he just stepped backwards,
Oh
put his
my god.
ankle on his foot. So that's how he's hurt. But the Lakers played yesterday. They get 2 days off, and then they'll play again until Sunday. So maybe that's enough time right there for D'Lo to ice the ankle and be back. But I mean, I don't think
Hopefully.
they'd probably rush him too crazy. Uh, I liked how they looked overall, even without him. LeBron was actually. I don't even think LeBron really played that much. They had so much. They have so much more like people who can run the offense.
Yeah, I don't think he
Dennis,
scored that much at all. I know he had like
yeah,
7 assists though. He kinda
yeah,
just facilitating. I know they scored crazy off the bench is what I heard.
yeah.
Wild stuff.
Beasley had like 25. Austin Reeves had 17.
That's what he's there
Um,
for. That's what they got him for.
so I'm excited. Hopefully, LeBron will finally get back in the playoffs, man. Because we
For
need that
sure.
guy to win another ring, maybe next year when he
Just
plays
want
with Bronny. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the NBA kind of midseason review and our favorites. Of course, February is almost over, which means it's almost March, which means it's time for the best month in all of sports. March Madness, baby.
Yes, sir.
Um, you know, crazy time of the year. Cinderella's happen every year. Somebody we don't know gets knocked, or somebody we don't know knocks out one of like the powerhouses, the blue bloods of college basketball. So it's always an exciting time. If you listen to the podcast and you're like, "What the hell are they talking about?" Just watch it and you understand. Can't really describe it. It's more of a see it yourself type of experience. But me and Dallas are going to go over Joe Lunardi's kind of bracketology. He's the ESPN like main, what would you call it, analyst for college basketball. His brackets
Yeah.
are pretty spot on with the committee's brackets. Do you have yours pulled up, Dallas, or do you want me to just tell you?
Yeah, you could go for it. I'm pulling it up.
Okay. So as of right now, he's got the Alabama Crimson Tide as the number one overall seed. The tournament. He also has Purdue as another one seed, Houston as the third one seed, and of course, Dallas's Kansas Jayhawks, Rock Chalk Jayhawk, as the last number one seed. For a breakdown of it, he's got nine teams from the Big 12 making the tournament, 8 teams from the nine teams from the Big 10 making the tournament, 8 teams from the Big 12, 8 teams from the SEC, 5 teams from the ACC, 5 teams from the Big East, 3 from the Mountain West, 3 from the Pac-12, and 2 from the WCC, and 2 from the American Conference. So he's got some other ones, but those are pretty much the like power conferences that most people know. He's got some pretty interesting matchups. Of course, he's got Texas Tech, the university where me and Dallas are, as one of the last couple teams that are not going to make the tournament, which anything can always happen. You know, they could go, they're on a little run right now, I think.
Yes, they
So
are. They have
they
been
might
making
start,
noise in the Big 12.
yep. They might start building enough momentum on their resume to sneak in. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much the basics of it. Of course, it's for everybody who's never seen it. It's a round of 64 the first round. It goes to 32 and the Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4, and then they have the National Championship, which I believe is in Houston this year. So, if you're a Houston Cougars fan, hopefully your team as the 1 seed can clear out their side of the bracket, make it for a hometown championship. But what do you got to say on it, Dallas? You got any input you want to put in?
Not as of right now. I mean, like I've been watching it. I guess as how do I say it? As much as I wish I would,
Mm.
more just watching the Big 12. Like you mentioned, I know the next four out is unfortunately as of right now is Texas Tech because of that very rough start they had in the Big 12.
Yeah.
The toughest conference in basketball, but definitely could turn it around.
Mm.
The next three games they play TCU tomorrow, then they play Kansas, and they play OK State. So definitely could change just within a couple of days.
Yeah, and he has those three teams that they play are all tournament teams. Oklahoma
Exactly.
State, he has them as one of the last teams in, so they beat them. Maybe they could flip flop there, but
Yeah, sure.
some. Go ahead.
It's just like you said, March is coming. It's one of the iconic months for college basketball, March Madness, which it's always a fun thing, fill out your bracket.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not, a huge basketball fan, college basketball you don't even have to know anything about college basketball to fill out a bracket.
Yeah.
Pick your teams, follow them as they go on,
Yep.
and watch the favorites fall as as usually it goes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like we said, you never really know. And when we say that, like we really mean it because the I think like 2 years ago, 16th seed has never defeated a 1 seed, and then it comes out of nowhere. Loyola Chicago, I think is who it was, ended up beating Virginia. So literally anybody could win. It could be let me look. It could be Eastern Washington could end up beating Purdue. They're in the same bracket. Nobody knows who has like the casual kind of basketball fan has never heard of Eastern Washington probably. So Hofstra could end up beating Alabama. Like Hofstra, like what? Beating the Alabama powerhouse. So there's always some excitement in March Madness. There's always, no matter what anybody tells you, there is always going to be an upset. Happens literally every year, even if it's like a small upset. But most times there is always a big upset in the first round. So if you want to learn about it, just tune in. It's nice too because it's like TBS, TNT, and who else? USA or True TV, one of them.
Yeah,
They all have a game going on. So, looking at it, Dallas, obviously, again, without your biasness of your Kansas Jayhawks, who would you say is a team to look out for in college basketball? I know you said you didn't really watch, you haven't really been keeping up with it a lot, but just kind of looking at the bracket, who would you say?
Outside of the Big 12, yeah. I mean, if I were to pick a team though, besides mine, I think it'd definitely be Baylor. I love Baylor. They have shooters with Flagler. I believe Flagler. I think it's LJ Cryer or maybe pronouncing his name wrong. I want to say his last name is Cryer. Then they have that kid. I think his name's Keontae George. He's supposed to go to the NBA next year. They projected lottery pick. He can ball. I watched a couple of his games. He's a freshman. Yeah, Keontae George. I'm pulling it up. He can straight out shoot, and they just. I think if you have shooters, you have a chance in every game. I mean, obviously it comes with risk. If they're not on, that could be the end of it. But I mean, they have three players that can hit it from deep, and with all of them have that heat check. They can get hot at any moment. I really like Baylor. I just think them playing in the Big 12, they played tough games basically all season now.
Yeah.
I think they're definitely built for this to make a run. I really would say Baylor. Outside of my team as in Kansas,
Yeah.
I really like Baylor. I think they have a chance with anybody.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also in the same boat. I haven't really been keeping up, but I'd probably just have to go with. I feel like I have to go with Houston, just because from what I hear is they're like a super athletic team. I feel like
Hmm.
more athletic teams will kind of be a little more successful, I guess, in the tournament, just because um, you know you go against the more lesser athletic team, kind of have an advantage
Yeah,
already. But of course, like we said, upsets happen all the time, so you never know. They might end up losing to UNC Asheville, who they have projected playing in the first round. But I would probably go with Houston. I also feel like with the championship being in Houston, I feel like they kind of got that extra motivation to try and get there, so that
crowd could
they
definitely
can
help
put on
that
for
as
their
well.
home city. Um, uh, you got any like sleeper teams you think people should kind of look out for? Someone who's kind of flying in
Yeah,
under the radar right now.
I guess it shouldn't be a sleeper team. I think as we were talking about earlier, I mean they're one of the bloods of college basketball. Kentucky.
Yeah,
They have really played well as of late. As pull up their schedule right now, they doesn't sound like a lot, but they won 3 in a row. But
yeah,
it's all conference games in the SEC. That says they have 8 teams. Representing the SEC obviously means they've been going through a really tough conference. I mean, they
yeah,
beat
yeah.
Mississippi State and they just dominated number 10 Tennessee,
Hmm.
and then beat Florida at Florida as well. I know we played them earlier in the season. We happened to beat them Kansas, but I think just them. Some reason they beat Tennessee twice this year.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
lord!
yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I would definitely.
Tennessee's just in like a little slump too. They lost back-to-back games on buzzer beaters, which that has to kill the
Right.
morale of the team. But yeah, Kentucky's a
Yeah,
good pick.
I would definitely say Kentucky, especially because they have Sheboy, who's Gary is looks like he's headed to the NBA next year.
Yep.
Just a dominant big. If you have a dominant big in college basketball too, that can leads to success because there's not too
Yeah.
many of those college basketball with the way the spacing is going, the way we
Yep.
play basketball now.
I agree too. Like we said before we started the podcast,
Mhm.
Kentucky's just like heating up at the right time, right before going into all the tournaments. So who knows? Maybe they might be like Kimball and UConn a couple years back,
Agreed.
or
Agreed.
Shabazz and
Yeah.
UConn. So um,
Definitely
let's
looking forward
see.
to that.
Yeah, March Madness. If you had to pick one upset, like in the projected first round, obviously nothing's like set in stone yet because we still got probably a little more than like maybe like 2 weeks or so before everything
Right.
starts. Just looking at the projected bracket, would you pick um, that like the what upset would you be? Could you see happening?
Right. Hey, let's just go to Eastern Washington over Tennessee. Tennessee being in a slump, right? And nobody knows them. Eastern Washington.
I think
I feel like they made noise last year or something. I feel like I've heard their name. Well, maybe it was a couple years ago.
I think
I feel like
I've
I've heard them.
I feel like they've done something, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I would
like we said,
definitely go with them.
Tennessee's definitely in a slump. They were, I think they were they ever number one? I think they were number one sometime this year.
And Kentucky beat
Um,
them by 5. I wouldn't be surprised. The number 1 has traveled so much this year.
yeah, everybody's been pretty much almost everybody's been a number one. But yeah, I could see Tennessee definitely losing. To
So
Eastern Washington.
Eastern Washington is on an 18-game win streak. Go ahead and just say it.
Yeah,
And tell them. Yeah,
yeah. Just go ahead and
that's gonna
pick that as
happen
your upsets. Everybody, Eastern Washington over Tennessee. Not really, but
as of right now.
yeah, not looking too bad. Mine
Yeah,
would be Kennesaw State over Texas, just because as an
I like it.
Oklahoma fan, it's never hook 'em horns. But also, I think the last couple of years, like that I've made
Yeah,
a bracket, I've always picked Texas to lose in the first round, and they've ended up losing. So
Yeah, they don't make it
Uh,
far every
yeah,
year. You do not hear them
I
going
think
far.
last year I might be wrong. I don't remember it. They lost to I think UNC Asheville a while back or something like that. And I
Right.
also think they lost to Sam Houston State pretty recently, or not Sam Houston State. Stephen F. Austin pretty recently. I might be wrong, but
It was a
yeah, they
perfect
usually
game.
don't go far.
One of them. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Also, just Texas is just
Wait,
Oklahoma's
no.
little brother and everything. So shots fired at all y'all Texas fans out there. Y'all won't at me or anything because I got the stats to prove it. No, I'm just kidding. Um, but yeah, I'd go with Kennesaw State over Texas. Texas, I feel like I don't know what it is. They've kind of been. I don't think they're talked about really. The only time I've ever heard
Talent
them
is
really
good.
talk about is Chris Beard.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate for them
Yeah.
because they got that Marcus Carr kid. That's really all I know from them is Marcus Carr. To be honest,
Hmm.
so when Tech played them, Tech beat them, and if it wasn't him scoring, I just didn't feel like they had nowhere else to go with the ball. Honestly,
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like
but
they're always like that. Like they have like a.
a
They feel
star
like
player,
yeah, like a guard. Like they rely
yeah,
on a certain guard too much. They don't really have like a full team or
for
depth
sure.
either. But
For,
yeah. So I mean, it's coming up soon. March Madness. Um, Obviously the big tournament is gonna start probably like mid March, but they do start the conference tournaments. I think like at the towards like more to the end of February slash beginning of March. So that's kind of really where everything starts going a little crazy, and brackets start going crazy as well, or future brackets. Like we said, um, Tech could Texas Tech could end up winning out the Big 12 tournament, and they get an automatic big for winning it, or they could just lose in the first round and their season's over, or the one seed, maybe like some one seed on the bubble, like Houston, maybe they end up losing their tournament or something. So really anything can happen with the seeding and everything, but definitely a fun time to watch basketball. Just because you always want to root for the underdog, unless the underdog is going up against your team, which I'm going to be cheering for Texas A&M Commerce or whatever, TAMU-CC. I don't know who that is, but they're going against Kansas, so I'm rooting for them because it's no Rock Chalk Jayhawk over here, baby.
yes, sir.
But pretty much covers our college basketball topic. We went over a couple favorites. Sleeper team, me and Dallas both agree. Kentucky's getting hot at the right time. Obviously, Dallas's team, Kansas, is one of the favorites, so he's obviously going to go with them. But his non-biased favorite is, of course, Baylor.
Yeah,
We can all agree with that. Pretty much any of the top tens in the Big 12 can really have a chance just because the strength of schedule and the or strength of schedule in the Big 12 is so hard because Big 12
for
is
sure.
the best conference in basketball. Of
It
course, I
is.
have Houston as my favorite. I can't pick Oklahoma because they're not gonna make it because buns. But
Unless they make that run this Big 12 tournament. Oh.
yeah, maybe. But I'm not holding my
Right.
breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of covers the college basketball section. I mean, me and Dallas are going to play a little game. It's going to be kind of over the NFL quarterback drama, everything going on with quarterbacks in this offseason right now. I'm going to say a name. Me and Dallas are going to pick the quarterback, or I'm going to say a name of a quarterback. Me and Dallas are going to pick where we think they'll end up. So just on what I have right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 quarterbacks on the quarterback carousel. Five of them are, I guess, vets. They're not rookies. They're not coming in from the draft. And four of them are actually the top four projected quarterbacks in this upcoming draft. So, we're going to kind of be. First, we're going to go with Dallas is Aaron Rodgers. What do you think?
Well, I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna end up landing.
Yeah.
Right. Oh man, I do not like this. I just well, if I had to pick one, it has to be Vegas for me.
I can see it.
Las Vegas, the Raiders.
Hmm.
I feel like that's the spot. Teaming back up with Devontae. Devontae unfortunately didn't get to play along with Derek Carr.
Yeah. Sheesh.
I think
Oh,
at least that's for me. Just keep it short and sweet.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that too.
Yeah.
Just
Um,
him,
and,
I can hear myself echoing.
oh shoot.
The people don't want to hear the echo.
Um,
You turn it. Yeah, I guess that works too. But you can't hear me.
hear me? Who?
When you do that, you can't hear me.
Oh my bad. I didn't know that.
Push the maybe I won't. See? Okay. That should work. Yeah, I can see Rogers going to Vegas though, like you said, uniting with Devontae Adams, and then um they just got rid of Carr too, so they obviously need a quarterback. I don't know what their cap space is looking like, but I could see that. Plus Vegas, it's always gonna bring in money to see Rogers. So it's gonna be a bigger market. Yeah,
For sure.
I can see him going there. Next name we got is Lamar Jackson. Where do you think he's gonna end up?
Is who? Is Lamar Jackson right?
Yeah.
I would for me, man, I don't think he's gonna make it work with Baltimore. I really don't.
Yeah,
I just
same.
something is definitely there that we don't know about the
Hmm.
contract negotiations. If I were to pick someone, I'm not too sure how the cap situations are as of right now, but I would think Miami for me.
Ooh, Miami.
Yeah, and then
Did they do like a
when he was on the cover of Madden, he really liked Kodak Black. Kodak Black being in Miami, Florida. I feel it. At least
and they do like a little Lamar for Tua trade or what?
yeah. Well, I don't know how Tua's situation is, man. He can't be in the NFL for too much longer. At least somebody has to stop him, or you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean, if he gets another concussion this season, I think he probably retires.
Yeah,
It's like what
that's for me.
4 and almost like a year total. So
And I feel like that team's good enough to they should be able to make a push too. I think they make another splash with.
I could, yeah, that's actually a pretty good one. Well, just imagine Lamar with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. What
Yeah,
else they
with
got? Mostert.
yeah,
Be crazy.
speed.
Yeah, I want to say I could see Lamar maybe with the Lions, which I know we talked about in
Okay.
the last podcast. We were kind of saying Jared Goff isn't too bad, but
Right.
if you have a chance to get Lamar, you definitely drop
Yeah,
Jared Goff for Lamar.
yeah, it's definitely getting talked about.
Yeah, I could see
Okay.
that. But I mean, it's I think they have the Lions. I think they have like I mean, honestly, I don't even know anybody's cap space, so I'm not gonna cap. Um, but just him with that team: DeAndre Swift, Jamal Adams, Ross, St. Brown. Who else they got? DJ Chark if he comes back.
Yeah, they also have that rookie receiver that he came back in the very end of the season. Was it
Oh
Jameis?
yeah, Jameson. Yeah, Jameson Williams.
Yeah, he shows like signs of explosiveness.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, we both agree that Lamar is gonna be not in a Ravens uniform, which,
Yeah,
like I said, don't know really what's going on there because they're kind of in a stalemate.
yeah,
Next quarterback we got is Mr. Former Vegas Raider, Derek Carr. He is, of course, a free agent. Was released last week by the Raiders. Already had visits with the Jets and the Saints, but where do you think he ends up?
I think if you're Jets, you have to go all in. I think Carr's good enough to do it too.
Hmm?
I don't see the hate that he gets with Vegas. I feel like he dealt with a lot with going to Vegas. I mean, when he was, when he had that really good year early in his career, then he had the broken leg or something like that.
Yeah,
He had a really big injury. Then he's
yeah,
had so many different coaches and coordinators and some weird Marshawn Lynch years, Gruden
yeah,
scandal. I mean, he's dealt with a lot. Then he
yeah.
had this year. They have Josh Jacobs running in the Hall of Fame game. Like you're starting running back. I mean, I just feel like he's dealt with a lot with that team. I
Yeah.
think maybe him himself needs a. I mean, he has Darren Waller too, supposed to be a big weapon, and he didn't even play all, all year. I just feel like he dealt with a bad hand,
Yeah.
and
Just
then maybe he
a lot
needs a
of
fresh start with the
yeah.
Jets, and they won't ask for much, honestly, as you could tell. With almost made the playoffs with Zach Wilson
Zach
and
Wilson, Mike White rotating.
Mike White, yeah, yeah, I see Jets. If I'm Jets, I'm going all in on Derek Carr. That's
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah. And I feel like the Jets are kind of in they're like a younger version of the 49ers. They were like
Agree.
just a quarterback away from making some noise. I feel like the Brees Hall really hurt the Jets. The Brees Hall injury really hurt the Jets this year
Definitely.
because
Definitely.
that,
That was rookie of the year before.
that man was on my fantasy team, and thank God for him. But that injury just,
Sure.
I think it really killed him. But yeah, just Carr to the Jets seems pretty likely to me. I don't think he'd want to go to. I feel like he wouldn't want to go to the Saints because I feel like it'd kind of be the same situation as the Raiders, as far
Right.
as like not coaching and all that, but players. I mean, all you're gonna have is Alvin Kamara. You do have what's his name, Olave, right? He's on the Saints?
Yes. Olave, then he got I don't know what Michael Thomas's deal is
Yeah,
every year.
he's like Darren Waller for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Um,
And then you got Alvin Kamara with the scan with the brawl and everything right
oh
now.
yeah, so
Might
it's
be
kind
in
of just like
jail.
a
And I
yeah,
just not a good spot right now.
yeah, it's a whole nother just drama everywhere. So the
Mhm.
Jets are kind of they don't really make a lot of noise as far as like off the field, but of course, them being in New York, everybody's gonna look at them because they're in such a big market. But I could Carr to the Jets probably makes a lot of sense to me. I feel like they have, like I said, they're just a decent quarterback away. Carr, I would say he's above average. The only problem I say is he really likes to stare down his receivers a lot, so that's why
Sure.
he's really like prone to
Oh,
interceptions.
yeah, I'm not trying to say like he's some crazy MVP quarterback on the free agent market,
Yeah,
but I think he's
seems
definitely got
definitely better than average.
yeah, for sure. And then also got, in that division, you have the Patriots who are
Yeah,
know what they are. You have Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, whatever the situation just happened.
yep.
And
You
what's the
got
last?
Tua.
Then you have the Dolphin situation, which is weird too. I think you gotta try to make a
Yeah,
strike, that your window's not very big. You know what I
yeah, and I
mean?
mean, as a Jets too, I feel like I feel like they've made it pretty obvious that they don't want Zach Wilson, even though they've kind of said that he's not going anywhere. I feel like if the opportunity presented itself, they'd be more than happy to get rid of him, just
Oh yeah,
because
for
I don't think he's their answer.
yeah.
But yeah,
So
Derek Carr to the Jets is probably. I think that'd be both of our picks, or it's
yeah.
your pick, but it'd probably be my pick too, just because I feel
Hmm.
like that'd be a great spot for him. Next quarterback is my boy, but not my boy, but my boy some days, but not my boy a lot of days. Mister 3 interceptions last year against the Bengals. Ryan Tannehill. Of course, Tennessee Titans. They just cut like four pretty big names. They cut Taylor Lewan. He's been there for 10 years. Robert Woods. They traded for him this past year. They just released their kicker too, which kind of surprises me because he's been pretty automatic. They also released Zach Cunningham, which is kind of their like he's like a rotating starter, their defense. So um, they're definitely with their new GM. I feel like they're gonna make a lot of noise, but a lot of people are thinking they're gonna make a move at quarterback, which I kind of hope. I love Tannehill, but he's not gonna carry us to the promised land. But where do you think Tannehill ends up next year?
And I think he ends up getting released, and then I assume he goes to the Saints, at least to
Mhm.
bring some stability to the Saints quarterback situations with
Yeah.
with their carousel of quarterbacks that I've seen go out to there. I wish Jameis Winston never got his start over there, but that never they never gave him the reins to do it. Not
Yeah.
sure why. Not sure what he showed maybe in training camp or something, but yeah, I think Tannehill goes to the Saints. He's not a terrible quarterback, but obviously he's not gonna get you to the next where you want to be.
Yeah.
I
Sad.
think he could bring them some stability at least.
Oh yeah, I can see that as well. I was gonna say maybe the Pack or
No,
yeah, I was gonna say maybe the
yeah,
Packers, but they have. I think they have to like if they let go of Rodgers, they have to let Jordan Love go because that's just a
sure.
waste of a draft pick. Or not like let him go as far as release him, but just let him
Get
loose
the
and let him
reins, let him.
start
Yeah,
getting his time. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
But you never know. Maybe they end up wanting to have him wait another year. Um, but I could say either the Packers or, like you said, the Saints. Um, I know there was talks about the Jets were. I don't know how legit it was, but the Jets were interested in trading for him. Because the the Jets like passing game coordinator Todd Downing is the old offensive coordinator for the Titans this past year, so kind of be a little more familiar there. Which I'm open to that if they want to give us some draft picks for him. Because
right, exactly.
he is, I think Tannehill is expected to have the biggest hit on a cap space this
Oh,
coming year because he's getting paid so much. I might be wrong, but I think that's pretty either the biggest hit or like one of the biggest hits. But they did pay him at the time. I liked it, but I liked the contract that they gave him. But after seeing past couple of years where he just kind of disappears in the playoffs, um, kind of wish they didn't give him such a big contract. But I understand as the heat of the moment. The GM that also gave him the contract is the same GM who traded AJ Brown, and that GM is now gone. Good riddance.
right.
But yeah, I could see him. I'd say either Packers or Saints, or likely the Saints, just because, like you said, they don't really have any like quarterback stability there with Taysom Hill and Winston. So um, I could agree with that choice right there, the Saints. Um,
For sure.
the next choice that we have is kind of a little surprising based on I think he improves. I wouldn't say like crazy amount, but he definitely improved over the season. It's Mr. Justin Fields in Chicago. Do you think he ends up getting out of Chicago? Do you think they end up trading him? Or do you think they just keep him there, or how do you think? Where do you think he ends up?
I think at least in my opinion, I hope he stays. I hope he's their guy. I like Justin Fields in Chicago. At least in my opinion. I think he stays there. Hope he stays there.
I would think, yeah. I mean, I feel like he made a good amount of leaps during the season.
For sure. What he was
Plus,
built.
yeah, I mean, he has his best receiver is to like
Maybe
Mooney.
Dark Mooney. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
the
might be like
second one
the
is
first, yeah.
the second one is Chase Claypool, and I don't even want to give Chase Claypool. Yeah, it's just I feel like if you go after one of the quarterbacks in the draft, kind of just back to square one. Because
Sure.
obviously I know a lot of people are high on Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, but they're gonna probably struggle the same way he did. Um, so it's kind of just you're not really going forward, kind of just being in a stalemate. Um, but I also agree. I hope he stays in Chicago. But if they do end up getting rid of him, obviously I think he's gonna go to probably the wait. I just had a brain fart. Um, I would see him either probably going to like the Panthers, somebody, um,
Right.
someone like that. With
Okay.
Frank Wright, I feel like he'd be able to pretty use Fields pretty effectively. But you know, I'm in the same
Right.
boat as you. I hope he stays there because I feel like he
Mhm.
really made strides this year. So I feel like they shouldn't really quit on him just yet. Just he's so even as a runner, like so dynamic as a runner. Um,
Right.
but he's also just he's gonna improve as a passer. I feel like this next season he's gonna take that Jalen Hurts type of leap. Not anything like Super Bowl or runner up
Yeah,
MVP, but I think he's gonna improve a lot as a passer. So
yeah. Go get him a receiver. Let's see what happens.
damn
Yeah,
man, you got the first pick. You could easily get what's that dude? Quentin Johnson.
or Addison,
Um
I guess. Or
yeah. And
you can
then
do a lot.
yeah, I mean you could do a lot with that one pick. You could load the defense, you could trade it for a lot more picks. I mean,
Yeah,
just build around Fields. I think we both agree on that. Just build
yeah.
around the man. He's doing all he can.
We got
Uh,
who we got
huh.
next?
That's it as far as like quarterbacks with NFL experience. The next ones are going to be the prospects. First one we have is Bryce Young. Do you think the Bears end up just drafting him and trading Fields, or do you think they end up trading out of the one spot with like the quarterback needy teams like Texans, Colts, and the
Right.
Panthers? What do you see happening there?
I think Bears for sure. I think Bears take just Jalen Carter or whoever's there, like the best defensive player there. Or I wish if they could trade back. That'd be the ideal thing. But I think they just stay there. And I think Bryce Young just ends up in Houston.
Yeah, with the 2 pick.
Yep.
Yeah. I really like as a Titans fan. It's tough because they have Bryce Young projected to Houston, and then C.J. Stroud. A lot of people have him going to um, Indy, and I just see that, and I'm like, damn, like if we don't do something quarterback wise, like we're gonna have Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and Trevor Lawrence in the AFC South in a quarterback driven league with 3 like
Yeah,
young
quarterback.
stars. Like, yeah, we're gonna have
And y'all
uh,
have in there with Malik
Tannehill,
Willis.
yeah, Tannehill or Malik Willis, or even if we
Yeah,
don't get them two, like somebody else. Like, I really hope they do end up trading Titans to get Bryce Young. Um, that's where I that's where I hope he'll go. If I'm being realistic, I also think he'll go to the Texans just because um, I think he does. I think the Bears do end up taking um, the best defensive player on the board or whoever they want on the board.
for
And if
sure.
they do end up trading back, I think they go like I think they only trade back with the Texans, so they only go to like the 2 spot.
Yeah,
But you know they get it's probably a couple more first rounders and 4 draft picks, and they still end up taking Carter with the 2 picks. So I'm in agreement with you, Young to the Texans. I hope it doesn't happen, but more than likely it will. And as a Titans fan, I'm gonna have to deal with Bryce Young for
I have Stroud as
who
well.
knows.
Stroud as well going to the Colts too.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I mean, it's where a lot of people have him. I realistically like in kind of the normal draft drafting, I feel like he would go to the Colts. But you know, I feel like the Colts might make a mistake and end up taking Levis from Kentucky.
It
Because
could
I
definitely.
know, yeah, I know a lot of people are high on him just because he's got like the perf like the I guess the stereotypical kind of build for it. You know, he's tall.
Yeah,
He's
there's
got
always that
some.
one quarterback that just who doesn't get no hype through all college football, and then by the draft comes, combine, and then surprise.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, got like the perfect kind of pocket passer type build. I think
Right.
he's like 6'3" or something like that. So
Yeah, 6'3", 230 with the big arm. But
yeah, so
everybody loves.
I feel like the Colts might try and look at that, especially with the the OC from Philly going there. I feel like they're kind of him and Jalen Hurts kind of have the same build. He's not as dynamic a runner as Hurts, but um, I could definitely see Levis going to the Colts. But in a realistic kind of world, I see Stroud going there, just because he's I haven't really watched a lot of film on him. I think he's pretty accurate, but I also like I'm in a dilemma with Ohio State quarterbacks because I can't remember when like there was an actual decent one that came out of college,
Yeah, that
unless
was
I'm forgetting
that
somebody.
was Fields.
Yeah, Justin Fields. Which I mean, he's trying,
Yeah,
but
he is.
I don't know. I feel like Bama quarterbacks and Ohio State quarterbacks are just like products of the talent around them because they
Sure.
recruit so well, and you know CJ Stroud had fucking Marvin Harrison Jr. and then Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Probably
That's just go to. Say again.
I said maybe Olave as what too. I know he went there
Oh
too.
yeah, a lot of, and he had Garrett Wilson. So I mean,
Yeah,
he's just had great receivers there. So I don't want to
sure.
like bash him too much, but
Yeah,
he's had some
definitely
like
solid
first
around
round
him.
receivers. Yeah. But I mean, yeah. And then of course that was Stroud. So we'll go to Levis, or Lee. I don't want to. Could be Levi's or Levis. It's one of those. If I say it wrong, sorry. But where do you think you'll see him end up going?
I landed him at Oakland or not Oakland. Oh my God, the Las Vegas Raiders.
Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas. They replaced Derek Carr.
Hmm. I can see that too, especially if they don't get Rodgers, like we like maybe kind of predicted. Because who knows what Aaron Rodgers is gonna do, man? I feel like he just come out and say if he wants out or not.
Yeah,
Um,
if he doesn't, if Rodgers doesn't land there, I assume he will. I think Levy's goes there.
yeah, yeah,
If not, maybe couple more picks later with the Carolina.
yeah. Panthers down there.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I'm in. Yeah, same boat for me. Um, Raiders or Panthers. I guess I don't know if the Raiders are really gonna try and go out and get somebody to replace Carr as far as like free agency.
Right.
Or if they're just gonna stick to the draft and deal with Levis, or
Mm.
I'm just gonna say Levis. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, I agree.
But I guess we'll see. But yeah, that looks like a right pick. Especially, um, I don't think they're gonna hand the keys to fucking Jerry Stidham.
No, as they shouldn't.
If they do, then they're a little crazy.
Right.
It is the Raiders. Never know. But
Sure.
yeah, I can see Levis there. If not, and if he like goes to the Panthers, that one kind of I really I don't know how I could see that working out. Frank
Right.
Reich just getting Levis. I feel like maybe he could develop him a little better, but there's not really a lot of, as far as like offensive side of the ball, talent really in Carolina. Besides, I guess DJ Moore and maybe like Deontay Foreman and Chuba. Other than that, I mean, kind of full rebuild mode. I don't know if they're
Yeah, they
patient enough to be with
most
Frank
definitely.
Reich, but um, next we have is actually like this one surprised me a lot because I like you said, I didn't hear about him at all really through college, except that he was kind of like a pretty good dual threat and he has a big body. But they have him as a fourth,
He is
pick.
really raw. Really, honestly,
Yeah, fourth
talented.
prospect is what's Anthony Richardson,
Yeah.
um, which he's big body, super dynamic. He's got the arm strength, but like I said, he's raw. Doesn't really have like the footwork down, how to read his progressions. The accuracy is pretty low too. But where do you see
Yeah.
him maybe ending up?
I think he goes to Washington if I were to make a guess. I feel like they need a
Oh,
quarterback. They don't have
Washington.
one.
I could.
Like
I
they
didn't even
make
think
another
about.
move again. A quarterback. They got to find some. They got to have something there. They can't keep on messing with Wentz and Heineke, and they try to
How
figure out something there. I can see them getting him, and then getting maybe him learning under Wentz or something like that. But I can see
yeah,
him going there.
that's a good. Oh yeah, I would like that too, especially with Scary Terry, Dotson, and who else they got? Don't they have
Yeah.
another receiver? What's his name? Well,
Curtis Samuel maybe
yeah,
there.
that's what I'm thinking of. Curtis Samuel. I mean, like the talent's there, like you said. They just like a lot of teams a quarterback away from just kind of getting over the edge.
They have the good defense.
Yeah,
They can't score 20 points.
yeah. I mean,
Honestly,
it's a
that's
tough one.
yeah,
I could see him honestly if the Ravens end up getting rid of Lamar. I could see him going to the Ravens.
right. Yeah,
Because I don't think they really want to leave everything to Tyler Huntley. I
Pro
don't think
Bowler.
he's made. Yeah, stop, dude. I don't think he's kind of a
Nah, yeah.
starter type caliber. Plus, I mean, if you do want to go with him, you take Richardson, let him learn a couple, or maybe
Yeah,
like a year or two behind him, and then give him the
Huntley and yeah,
keys.
Jeff Richardson for sure.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, he's he's a big body. He's
Mobile.
I guess similar to Cam body wise, but like not as fluid of a passer. But yeah, and yeah, that pretty much wraps up the little quarterback carousel game that we had going on. It pretty much covers all the topics we're discussing in this episode of 806 Perspective. That's a demo of how I'm gonna sound. But got anything you want to add, Dallas, or any kind of like I don't know, just anything?
I think we covered just about everything we're planning on covering today. And then next week, hopefully over this weekend, we'll figure out with the franchise tags and see if there's any more news. Anybody gets cut. The big players with the every team has some star player. That's on watch out right now. So
Yeah,
more as we go.
Yeah, I mean, then I'm sure NBA wise, there'll probably be a couple more buyouts or something. So maybe some more teams or some more players on new teams. Hopefully, this past upcoming weekend, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, pretty much it. Yeah, I guess we just covered everything we're going to talk about in this podcast episode. This one's a little late because I've been pretty busy all week, so we are filming on a Friday night. So kind of late as far as All-Star game like recap. Pretty much everybody already knows if you watch basketball everything that happened there. But try to start filming more on Mondays or recording on Mondays so that we can kind of just start the week off like that. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. We want to say thanks again for everybody who listened to the first episode. Appreciate the support. Appreciate everybody who shared it on Facebook. Everybody who subscribed on YouTube. Appreciated the guys that listened and everybody who gave us some feedback. Hopefully, we did a lot better this second episode. Not as nervous and kind of more on point as far as topics. We didn't go all over the place like the first time. We're just talking about something and then we talk about something completely different. So that's pretty much it. Dallas, you got any ending statements or anything you want to say real quick before we call it quits?
Nothing. I think I'm good, boss. I think it's I think everybody that obviously listened or subscribed to our YouTube. I just want to thank everybody. Thank everybody for supporting us. Hopefully, going on a journey.
Yes, sir. Hopefully, we go somewhere with this. But yeah, appreciate you guys again for listening to the second episode, 806 Perspective podcast. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.